We can start.
Okay.
Yeah, I will start in Russian, so then you continue. Всем добрый вечер. Сегодня мы начинаем нашу серию вебинаров совместно Nordic School и финских вузов-партнеров с вуза, который известен, наверное, много кому. Это университет классический, университет, который называется Aalto, носит имя известного финского архитектора. И это наш редкий гость и очень важный партнер, потому что среди университетов, в которые поступают наши студенты, не так много университетов именно классических. И мы надеемся, что этот вебинар поможет вам определиться с выбором. И также хочется сказать, что если у вас возникнут какие-либо организационные вопросы, связанные с подготовкой документов и так далее, то с этими вопросами мы рекомендуем обращаться к нам в Nordic School, скандинавскую школу, петербургский и московские офисы. Сегодня мы рекомендуем задавать вопросы, непосредственно связанные с программами университета Aalto и касающиеся обучения в Финляндии, и оставить все-таки вопросы, связанные с организацией, на потом, потому что сегодня нам нужно очень много успеть и уложиться в какое-то более-менее приличное время по финским меркам, потому что мы здесь начинаем работать очень рано, заканчиваем тоже рано, и сегодня вот наши коллеги героически прибыли к 7 вечера, чтобы дождаться окончания рабочего дня в России. Поэтому давайте будем лаконичными, если есть какие-то вопросы, их можно писать в чат, и какие-то оставшиеся, я еще раз подчеркну, что вот связанные именно с организацией, с визами, вопросами и так далее, я предлагаю оставить на потом и обсудить уже непосредственно с менеджерами скандинавской школы. И сегодня у нас в гостях Санкт-Петербургский и московский офис скандинавской школы. Сегодня у нас в гостях представители университета Aalto, в том числе студенты университета. Каждый из них представится самостоятельно и начинает нашу презентацию Эва. Я передаю ей слово. So, Eva, go ahead.
Thank you, Anastasia. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Just checking.
I'll turn off my sound.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be talking to you all today. My name is Eva, and I work at Aalto University on international student recruitment. So it's my privilege to be talking to you today. Just a second. Can you see my screen in full without videos or anything blocking? Okay. Great. Just to let you know that I will be giving my part of the presentation in English. I wish I knew what Anastasia just told you. One day I'll learn Russian as well. But for now, I'll be giving my share of the presentation in English. And I also have here my colleagues from our admissions team joining today, and they will be manning the chat. So if you have questions at any point during my presentation, you are more than welcome to post questions in the chat in English or then in Russian that Anastasia and Georgi can translate if needed. But without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the presentation by Aalto University and our friends at Nordic School St. Petersburg and Moscow. And let's start by saying that Aalto University, we aim to be game changers. So we aim to offer you more than a degree if you come and study here with us. But let's get started. Aalto University is in fact a merger of 3 leading Finnish universities that date back to before Aalto actually came to be in 2010. Aalto is a combination of the Helsinki University of Technology, Helsinki University of Art and Design, as well as Helsinki School of Economics, which means that we've created this very unique multidisciplinary university where science and technology meet business, art, and design. And as I said before, Aalto is a thriving community, very unique in its multidisciplinarity. We have an extremely international student pool, a beautiful, vibrant campus that's starting to come alive now that everyone's coming back as COVID restrictions are being removed. And it's a wonderful place to study, really. Our world-class campus, and we'll talk about that a bit more later, is being built as we speak and is turning into something spectacular just in time for 2022 starters. But before we talk more about Aalto, let's talk a little bit about Finland and why you might want to live and study here. I assume that you being from St. Petersburg are quite familiar with Finland already, but we like to brag a little bit regardless. So of course, it needs to be said that Finland is the happiest country in the world. We're quite equal, low in hierarchy. It's a safe and clean place to live. Close to nature. I know that you've got beautiful nature in Russia too, but if you're one of the bigger cities here, our cities tend to be quite small and nature is accessible all around. I know that Georgi, who lives near where I live, enjoys cross-country skiing not far from his house and also not far from the Aalto campus. We're well connected to the Nordics and Europe. This might sound a bit funny from someone being from St. Petersburg, but I'll turn this around and say we're different, close to Europe, but also very close to home. So it's very convenient for you to get here by train and then visit family and friends, either by train or by airplane, if you want to go back home. And of course, to keep talking about Finland, we rank quite high in international comparisons for quality of living. We're safe and stable, happiest country in the world, many years in a row. We are about peacefulness and sustainability, and of course have the best higher education and training system in the world, according to the World Economic Forum. Then, why would you study in Finland? We know you have great universities in Russia too. Well, we do have the great education system, like I said. But in Finland and Aalto, we also have a very international orientation of our programs. We have a wide range of degree programs taught in English, available from undergraduate to PhD level, and a very wide network of partner universities around the world that you can access while you're a student here by doing an exchange, for example. Studying at Aalto also offers you a lot of flexibility and individuality. You can access content and courses and minor subjects from different fields and different schools and different faculties. And also the style of teaching, it varies, it's quite modern, and academic staff is quite approachable, which is something that many of our international students like. International students in Finland are in a good position because they are mostly entitled to the same benefits and discounts as Finnish students, including discounts on public transport, access to good student healthcare, discounted lunches, gym memberships, and so on. But now, enough about Finland. Most of you probably know Finland quite well. So let's talk more about Aalto. So as I mentioned, we have 3 unique fields: business and economics, arts and design, and science and technology. And we excel in those fields, truly. Aalto has 6 different dynamic schools that comprise of, a number of programs taught in English, both in bachelor's, master's, and PhD level. Our School of Arts, Design and Architecture teaches subjects like architecture, art, design, media, film, television, and scenography. I hope I pronounced that right. Our School of Business teaches accounting, economics, finance, management, marketing, information and service management. School of Chemical Engineering, Bioproducts and Biosystems, Chemistry and Material Science, Chemical and Metallurgical Engineering. School of Electrical Engineering is about communications and networking, electronics, nano engineering, electrical engineering, automation, and so on. School of Engineering, Built Environment, Civil Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and then last but definitely not least, School of Science, the more traditional science programs, Physics, Computer Science, Industrial Engineering and Management, and Mathematics, and so on. So lots to choose from and a unique mix of of fields. What does Aalto look like in terms of numbers? We have about 12,000 full-time equivalent degree students. In addition, we may have exchange students coming into Aalto as well. About 4,000 staff members, and 10% of them are actually professors, which is a good thing for you. You get to learn from the best. And we have a large number of international staff members. So 40% of our faculty members are international. And those are the numbers of degrees that we give out each year, which are, a number that's quite impressive. So then where are we located? We're located in Espoo, on the border of Helsinki, in the heart of the capital region, by a beautiful seaside, close to the Helsinki business district, CBD, let's say, Helsinki city center. Aalto University has its own metro station. There will soon be light rail, and it's quite a beautiful parkland campus with Alvar Aalto architecture, with lots of restaurants, cafes, learning areas, library, and so on. So a very nice place to study. A bit more about the campus. The campus is called Otaniemi, firstly, and here you can see some pictures of the campus. It's been a huge construction project building the campus to what it is now. And our students now get to enjoy a truly world-class campus with some of the services that I already described earlier. Aalto is also about entrepreneurship, and I wanted to show this to you because it's quite impressive that 50% of Finnish startups are actually founded in universities, actually come from the one university, which is Aalto. So there's lots of support and lots of networks available at Aalto for students who might be interested in starting their own business during their studies or later on. And then let's brag a little bit about our Aalto's international rankings. So we were ranked 9th of all young universities globally in 2021. 23rd in multidisciplinary and collaborative research, and that is a world ranking again. We're the 37th most international university in the world, and we were ranked 47th in advancing responsible consumption and production, which we're quite proud of because sustainability is one of our core values here. Our School of Arts and Design is world famous, and it is ranked 6th in the world in its category, which is quite astonishing. So if that's what you're after, this is the place for you to come and study. Aalto offers education at all levels. You may know that some higher education institutions in Finland only teach up to bachelor's level. At Aalto, we offer bachelor's, master's, and PhD level education. And here, I'm not going to read them out loud, but you can see the degree titles that we give out. Tuition fees are 12,000 euros for bachelor's programs and 15,000 euros for master's programs per academic year. And so that applies to students who come from non-EU and EEA countries. We are lucky to have a good number of scholarships available also to international students, which are offered in the form of a tuition fee waiver of 100 or 50%. Scholarships are given based on academic merit, so they are given to the strongest applicants in each program. And it's an easy application process that takes place once you apply to the university in the same process. And scholarship decisions are given together with the admissions decision. Maybe someone from our team can post the link in chat where you can read more about this. But something that is brand new, it's not even public yet, and this might also be news to Nordic School. In addition to Aalto's own scholarships, a scholarship called Finland Scholarship will be announced in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So which is an additional 5,000 euro scholarship for master's and PhD students. I couldn't put it here in writing yet because it's not public yet, but it's out there enough where I'm happy to say that that also will be available for international students to apply. So then how to apply? You can get help for this later on when you do apply from our admission services who are here manning the chat today. But first, choose your study option, get to know the application criteria and instructions. Admissions are organized once a year, and the application periods for the master's and bachelor's programs taught in English are listed there. So for our master's programs, the application period is from the 1st of December until the 3rd of January. Sorry, there's a wrong year there, 3rd of January 2022. And bachelor's programs from the 5th until the 19th of January. And I apologize again, there are wrong years there. We recommend that anyone who's interested in applying prepares early because you do need to collect a number of documents. And yeah, it's because the application periods are short, please prepare in time. But Nordic School and our admission services are able to help you with this. And up-to-date application information is not out yet, but maybe someone can post in the chat the link to our website where all the most up-to-date and correct information regarding application details will be posted. And I think you've heard enough from me, but I wanted to put this kind of last inspirational slide here showing some position titles of our graduates. So maybe one day you can become one of them or something totally different. But I'm going to wrap up and say on my behalf, thank you very much for listening. We'll be available for questions in a moment. And yeah, thank you. And I really hope to see you on campus eventually. But now, without further ado, please allow me to introduce you to Daria, who is a Russian student of ours at Aalto. And I'll let her introduce her story, her story, and what it's like to study here at Aalto. Thank you. Go ahead, Daria.
Eva. Thank you. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Добрый вечер всем. Меня зовут Дарья Лютина, и я студентка факультета биоинформационных технологий. Я родилась и выросла в Перми, в России, и в Финляндию переехала в 2013 году, чтобы обучаться в Hämeenlinna в университете Хонг. И там я училась на факультете строительной инженерии и получила, как это называется, сертификат бакалавра проектировщика-конструктора. И успела несколько лет поработать, остаться в Финляндии, выучить финский. Мне очень нравилось жить в Финляндии. Но я чувствовала, что хочу попробовать еще какую-то другую сферу. И 1,5 года назад я поступила в Aalto. И сейчас я на 2-м курсе бакалавриата. Обучение у нас на финском, есть какие-то отдельные курсы на английском, но вот большая часть у нас на финском. И учеба занимает много времени, но когда остается свободное время, я занимаюсь еще вокалом, я фотографирую, пою в хоре, и также я сейчас являюсь тьютором для студентов, которые приезжают на наш факультет по обмену или на магистерских программах. Магистерские программы у нас все на английском, то есть я являюсь интернациональным тьютором. И сегодня у вас есть возможность спросить у меня любые вопросы, которые приходят в голову, которые касаются обучения в Aalto, жизни в Финляндии, переезда, финского языка, работы и так далее. Я буду рада ответить. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы по поступлению, то их лучше сразу сейчас задать в Admission Service на английском. Они компетентны отвечать. Я, к сожалению, знаю только самое базовое. Вот, так что, пожалуйста, задавайте вопросы. Вы можете задать их в чате или включить микрофон и спросить. Да, вижу первый вопрос. С каким уровнем финского языка поступала в Ханк? Я училась там на английском, то есть у меня финский язык был нулевой. Я приехала и вообще ничего не знала про финский, ни слова. И мне потребовалось где-то 3 года, чтобы выучить язык, начать прям вот бегло говорить уверенно. Вот. Но да, в Ханке все обучение было на английском. Я бы сказала, что моя адаптация в плане языка приходила достаточно легко. У меня была очень сильная мотивация остаться в Финляндии. Я знала, что именно в сфере строительства очень важно знать язык. На английском найти работу можно, но это гораздо сложнее. И поэтому я поставила себе цель, что я хочу выучить финский, чтобы было легче найти работу. Плюс мне повезло, что я достаточно быстро завела себе финских друзей и приятелей и могла практиковаться с ними. Когда я на финском, у меня была совершенно прекрасная начальница, которая сказала, что не будет говорить со мной по-английски, ни слова. Поэтому мне пришлось выучить финский с ними. Через какой сервис я искала жилье в Хельсинки? В Aalto есть AYY, это организация, которая Aalto. И для Degree Students это обязательная организация, и она предоставляет в том числе жилье. То есть если ты член этой организации, то есть право на общежитие, и это, конечно, гораздо дешевле. Вот. Есть еще HOAS, это от города Хельсинки для всех студентов, которые здесь в регионе Хельсинки учатся, то есть у них AYY предоставляет только для студентов Aalto. Вот. Общежитие очень хорошее. Я вот сейчас в общежитии, мне очень нравится все. И именно в плане цен это гораздо удобнее, гораздо приятнее, чем снимать у участников, но можно также найти участников жилья, это просто будет дороже, и желательно, конечно, немножко знать финский, потому что все объявления, все на финском. Так, секундочку, уже достаточно много вопросов. Есть ли подготовительный курс к поступлению? Okay, so I think this question should be more for the admission services. So is there any like preparation courses? Or maybe in the Nordic school, you are more competent to reply to this question.
Yeah, maybe if you translate the question in full, are they asking if there are any preparation courses for
admission? Yes. So they're interested in the design and architecture faculty, and they're interested in like what is the level of Finnish language that you are required to have in order to study art and design in Finnish.
Okay, well, firstly, maybe Minna can post a link there that talks about the language requirements. I think we might have that on our website available. There are no prep courses as such, but it's always a good idea to prep your language skills, whether it's Finnish or English. So regardless in which language you study here, you will need to knowing English well is a good idea. Much of the studies are in English, or the literature even in the Finnish programs. So I would say that while there are no fixed prep courses, getting to know our admission requirements early and then prepping your language skills is always a good idea. And yes, Minna has posted information about the language requirements, but this page is only in Finnish and Swedish, probably, for a pretty obvious reason.
Can we go to the next question, or does anybody have some extra information? Okay, let's go to the next question. I think it's also for the admission services mostly. I have a bachelor's degree in construction engineering field. Can I apply for a master program in architecture.
Yeah, I think our admissions team might be working on the answer. There are so many programs in at Aalto that it's impossible for even for me to remember all the admissions requirements for all the programs. But our admissions team are amazing. So even if you have a question that you can't get an answer to today, or you didn't remember to ask, we will post the admissions team contact details in the chat here. You can always email us and ask, and we'll help you out. Are there any other questions in the meantime? I think our Russian audience. Yeah.
There is no questions anymore in the chat, but please ask the questions. Пожалуйста, спрашивайте.
Russian, English, or Finnish are okay. Percentage of Russian students. Very good question. I should have checked. I could have checked that for you, but it's a significant number. Russian students all over in all higher education institutions in Finland are usually the biggest, second biggest, or third biggest group of international students, and Aalto is not an exception. I actually can't give you the exact number, but there's a fair amount. Daria, can you give like an impression of that?
I guess it varies quite a bit between between the programs in English and in Finnish. But we have an Aalto Russian speaking association, and I've just checked that there is 189 members in the Telegram group. So there's quite many Russian speakers in here, but obviously there's quite many people who moved to Finland when they were kids, so they speak Finnish and Russian as their mother tongues. So I don't know if you can count them as fully Russians. But for example, I study with some people like that they speak Russian, but they've lived in Finland for like most of their life.
I think that's typical for the Finnish programs. In the English taught programs, these would be international students who've come to Finland specifically for studies. So unfortunately, I should have checked the number. I can't give you the exact number, but there's a significant amount. But there is a large amount of international students at Aalto, full stop. So you have enough Russians, but not too many. You'll also get to experience other cultures.
And I can say, for example, in our this year international group of first year students, and by first year I mean also master students and exchange students, they are all first years. I think there is 1 or 2 Russian speakers, and they're not necessarily even Russians. I'm not sure, I have to ask them. And otherwise they come from the Netherlands, Belgium, India. So lots of countries.
And I think our admissions team has answered the question about the architecture program. Anyone else? Any more questions? That's a good one for our admissions team colleagues. So when will the exam requirements be updated for the year 2022 as the SAT subject is cancelled? Good question. And I'll let the admissions team take that one. And while they're working on the answer, is there another question there from Ksenia, maybe?
Yes, so the question is, how many students of the same year are in each program. So for the bachelor degrees in Finnish, the number varies. For example, in our bachelor, it's about a bit over 100 to 150. And I'm really not sure about the master programs and English bachelors. So if Eva has more information.
Yeah, really varies from program to program. There are stats available on the Aalto website in terms of intake numbers and application numbers. We might be able to post that here if one of the admissions team, I don't want to be Googling away while I'm sharing. But really depends on the program. That's the only blanket answer I can give. And I guess, yes, admission criteria for the English bachelor programs, you know, also including the SAT, will be updated by the end of September. I think the only thing I'd like to add is that I wouldn't worry about the fact that subject SATs have been cancelled, because it's the same situation for everyone and the same situation for all universities. So there will be an alternative method. But keep on following the website on that. It'll be announced, you know, as soon as possible. Any specials for several? So if you've got more than one child from one family, unfortunately, we don't have a multiples discount. Maybe we should introduce that at the university. I also have 3 kids, so that's a good idea. Thanks, Natalia. Good idea. But I will say that everyone who applies to Aalto, I highly encourage you to tick the apply for a scholarship option in the application form. We do have a fair number of scholarships available for the academically strong students. In terms of the SAT results, we can only give you statistics for the previous years. And if someone from the admissions team, there we go. So the study at Aalto Statistics, you'll find information about how many students were admitted as well as you know, the lowest SAT scores that were accepted. Aalto is one of the world's leading universities, a world-class university, and you know, Finland's leading university in its fields. So it is a competitive process to get accepted, but it is absolutely possible to get accepted. And I highly encourage you to consider Aalto as an option. Daria is nodding, because we'd love to have you here.
I can only add that even though it's rather difficult to get into Aalto, and I admit that I tried twice, and from the first attempt I didn't manage to get in, but it's definitely worth it. Like, I've enjoyed it quite a bit. The students here are amazing. We have great events, even though Corona has ruined some of them, but we still managed to have this kind of a student society in here. So yeah, I can also recommend applying at least.
And maybe the one thing I'd like to add, I didn't talk about COVID at all, but one thing I'd like to add is that this is a good time for us to be talking, because COVID restrictions in Finland are being removed as we speak. So we have new liberties and more face-to-face teaching all the time. I'm actually hosting this webinar from the campus today, and I could see plenty of groups of students and, you know, life returning on campus. The COVID-19 situation in Finland is well under control, And I think more than 80% of our population has had the first vaccine, and we're getting close to 60, maybe even 70 with the second vaccine, and hospitalization rates are low. So, we are fully anticipating the society opening up and going back to normal in the next few weeks, and certainly, hopefully, by next autumn. Any more questions? We still have some time. While I didn't go through all the programs that Aalto offers, because there are so many, maybe someone from the admission team could post the Study at Aalto link in the chat. And I encourage all of you to go and have a look. Look at all the amazing programs that we have on offer in English, and then of course for some of you in Finnish. How are scholarships given? Are there any requirements to get a scholarship business faculty? Yeah, they are given based on academic merit. So the strongest applicants will be given or granted a scholarship. And the scholarship link, I think the link to the page that has more information about Aalto scholarships was posted in the chat earlier. But there is a fair amount of scholarships available, so I would highly encourage everyone to apply for them. And Sari has just posted the study options page where you can look at all our different programs. I'm interested in hearing, has anyone been to the Aalto campus?
Me with Georgi.
Georgi and Anastasia were here last week. And when we do return back to normal, please be in touch, maybe through Nordic School. And if you do want to come and visit, that's also possible once COVID restrictions are lifted. Oh, and yes, a great point from Minna. We have an amazing virtual campus tour. Please go and have a look at it. We'll also send you a link to the virtual campus tour in the follow-up email of this webinar. You'll be receiving that email tomorrow. The email mostly just highlights all the important links and the topics that we've discussed today, but it also has the link to the virtual campus tour. One of the best I've seen, by the way. Okay, we're still here for your questions. Is there anything that Anastasia or Georgi would like to say? I guess all I'd like to say is I really hope to see some of you at Aalto at some point and join Georgi, Anastasia, and myself here in the Andaria, of course, here in Espoo or Helsinki.
I know that there should be some question about PhD programs, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe our admission office could give some more links to the PhD program information.
Yes, the process for applying for a PhD position is very different, I guess, understandably. There we go. Minna has posted a link about it. But yes, again, highly encourage anyone who's interested in that to get in touch with us and start looking into it. Okay, do you want to say something, Anastasia, Georgi? I don't think we have any more questions that haven't been answered at the moment.
So if we don't have like anything to discuss, maybe, and there are no questions. Let's see. No, there is no.
I think we need to say thank you, Daria. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Anna, Minna, Sari, Annika. It was really great. И спасибо всем участникам, тем, кто сегодня пришел, и тем, кто задавал вопросы, и тем, кто интересуется. Это очень важно, и таких возможностей, да, их сейчас стало больше, но общаться с университетом Aalto это дорогого стоит.
Okay, thank you, Nordic School. Thank you, everyone here who came to listen to us. I wish we could have seen you in person, but that day will come soon. And I really hope to see you on campus eventually. Maybe the admissions team could just post one more thing in the chat, and that is the admissions team's contact details in case you have any specific questions. Keep following our website for the admission requirements and to get to know our programs, and talk to our friends at Nordic School if you need help as well.
Thank you very much. Also from Nordic School office in St. Petersburg, but actually in Helsinki, I think now. And to the admission office, to Eva and Daria and Anna especially. And welcome to St. Petersburg, to our office when it will be possible. And thanks for all the participants and for your questioning in the chat. And I'll say then in Russian. Спасибо всем участникам большое за ваши вопросы, активное участие. Надеемся, что вам было полезно поучаствовать в этом вебинаре. И, конечно, если у вас остались какие-то вопросы, которые вы хотите обсудить по-русски, то вы можете обращаться в офисы, в общем-то, скандинавской школы или писать на почту admissions университета Aalto. Вам всегда ответят очень оперативно, быстро, никогда не стесняйтесь. Если у вас есть вопросы по соответствию дипломов бакалаврских и магистерских, вы всегда можете написать, хотя там они и говорят, что как бы заранее нельзя посмотреть, насколько бакалаврский диплом может соответствовать магистратуре, то есть вступительным требованиям, но никогда не стесняйтесь, пишите настойчиво, вам всегда на все ваши вопросы ответят. Что касается уровня языка, подготовки, пожалуйста, приходите к нам на курсы. То есть у нас такие процессы, в общем-то, работают достаточно давно. Если вы хотите подготовиться к поступлению, это всегда можно сделать. Вопросы, касающиеся вот SAT и вступительных испытаний на финском языке, это уже вещи, которые решаются в частном порядке, потому что тут, если вы собрались поступать в Yliopisto, то ваш путь будет гораздо интереснее, чем у тех, кто поступает в Ammattikorkeakoulu, поэтому здесь нужно общаться отдельно. Вот.
Я могу добавить еще к тому, что сказала Анастасия. Денис писал по поводу языка, о том, что он бросил все силы на изучение финского языка. Денис, это хорошо. И знайте, что такие студенты, как вы, которые хотят поступать на финском языке, они есть. И в скандинавской школе каждый год мы считаем их, каждый год есть те, кто поступают на финском языке. И одна из студенток университета Aalto, которая, к сожалению, не смогла сегодня составить компанию Дарьи и рассказать про школу дизайна, это наша студентка, и она поступала на финском языке на программу магистратуры у нее все получилось, она подготовилась, мы сдали экзамен, и все было в порядке. То есть все возможно.
Можно я тут еще по-русски как раз добавлю? Не надо бояться финского языка. Есть почему-то такой стереотип, что вот сложный язык отличается. Он другой, он не похож на русский, действительно, но бояться его не надо. Никто не ждет, что вы будете прекрасно говорить без единой ошибки. Достаточно понимать достаточно большую часть того, что вам говорят, и уметь свои мысли выражать. Но какие-то грамматические ошибки, незнание терминологии, это все прощается. Я не единственная учусь на финском, у кого финский не родной. Тут есть, например, шведы, suomenruotsalaiset. Они точно так же, для них финский не родной, они делают ошибки. Все к этому очень спокойно относятся, поэтому я прямо хочу поддержать всех, кто хочет заниматься финским. Это действительно стоит того, потому что это совершенно другой уровень участия в жизни студенческой, но это открывает просто очень много дверей. Всякие мероприятия, литература и так далее. Это все будет на финском, просто на другом уровне. Поэтому, да, я всех очень поддерживаю. Да, и вот Денис написал замечательно в чате, что не перестает радовать реакция на попытки говорить на финском. Да, финны очень поддерживают любые попытки разговора на финском. Крайне редко может быть такое, что они такие: о, нет, давайте перейдем на английский. Они действительно помогают, поправляют, подсказывают слова и так далее, и так далее. Поэтому абсолютно понятное волнение, но обещаю, что стоит того, и все получится.
So there is one more question about the scholarship, but as Eva told that it's not like ready, the program for a scholarship is not ready yet.
Admission. That's called that was regarding the Finland scholarships, which is a totally new program. But Aalto scholarships are alive and well, and they get granted every intake. Does the admission team have anything additional to say in terms of this question? So is the admission scholarship usually given for 1 year or for the whole period of BA program for the programs taught in English? Good question. I think our admission team will be typing an answer. Yeah, I was keen to say for the whole period. There are also some scholarships available for those students who've done their bachelor's degree at Aalto as a fee-paying student and then continue on to master's programs. So there's another opportunity to apply for scholarships there, even if you weren't granted one for your bachelor's degree. So as we looked at the degree structure, 3 years for bachelor's degree and then 2 years for master's.
Если больше нет, наверное, никаких вопросов, то мы тогда можем заканчивать, и какие-то дальнейшие вопросы можно задавать тогда либо в admission office университета Aalto, либо на почту или по телефону Nordic School, если это что-то организационное. В любом случае мы остаемся с вами на связи, и спасибо всем большое. So we are finishing.
Спасибо from my behalf as well.
Thanks, everybody. Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much. Большое спасибо всем за участие.
Thank you. I'll finish the webinar now, but keep in touch, follow us on social media, and hope to see you one day.
I think we can